First one up. In this article, Jacob Smith talks about the racial wealth gap. Yes, this is good. Yes, this isn't good. What are we thinking? I want to see all the thumbs. I see lots of middle ones. Okay. Paige, I see a thumbs down. Why is it a thumbs down for you?
Because it's starting by saying in this article,
yeah.
It's not introduced in the paragraph.
Okay, yeah, so based on this sentence, you would think that it would be like the summary of a source, right? Yeah, and it's not really doing that. What else maybe is wrong with this one? Yeah.
Not detailed on racial wealth gap could be anything.
Right. Are we talking about the causes? Or are we talking about the consequences? Or the possible solutions? What are we talking about here, right? It's a no-go for me on this one. Next example, quote, the research study found that the maternal mortality rate was 3 times higher for mothers of color than white mothers, Smith 3. Yes, excellent topic sentence. We should introduce all of our sentences this way, or no, not working out. Maurice, I see a big fat thumbs down for you. Why?
Because it starts with the quote. You said that's the opposite of what we should do. We should introduce the topic, then begin our quote.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe perhaps you can use this quote, but there needs to be something foregrounding this, right? I don't know what the rest of this paragraph is going to be about. Based on this, I'm assuming you're just going to talk about Smith the entire time, right? Not working for us. Let's look at this one. There are many causes and aspects of the racial wealth gap that are worth exploring. Good to go. I like how it goes, or not so good. I want to see all the thumbs. Okay. Caleb, I see a big thumbs up for you. Why do you think thumbs up?
Just reading the first sentence, I mean, you can tell kind of a rough estimate of like what the paragraph is going to be about. It explains enough. It's not too vague. I can understand what it's going to be about.
Okay. You anticipating that it's going to be about like the causes of the racial wealth gap, right? Okay. Annalise, do you have a different perspective?
I feel like it's not great. I mean, like, yeah, it's going to tell you what you're doing, but I feel like you should, like, introduce and be more specific.
Okay. While it is better than perhaps the other 2 topic sentences we've looked at thus far, I'm going to side with Annalise here because we're missing some specifics that we need, right? Okay, there are many causes and aspects. If half the paper you're talking about the causes, right, because that's the whole function of this paper, there's 1,000 causes of this we could talk about. Name one that you're talking about in this one, right? So when you're saying there are many aspects, causes and aspects, tell me what you're going to talk about this. Are you going to talk about redlining? Are you going to talk about, housing discrimination? Are you going to talk about subprime loan lending? What are you going to talk about here, right? So yes, a little bit more specific than this one. Not the worst topic sentence, but we can go more. What is wrong with that topic sentence that you all were assigned? It's a quote, right? I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know, what the rest of the paragraph is going to be about. It's not effective. So let's take a look at your revised one. It reads, instead, predatory lending practices were first popularized by the for-profit lender S&L companies who specialized in making risky loans to poor members of their communities to maximize their profits. And then you kind of have a different version done here. Both, I think, are effective ones. What were you trying to kind of fix in that topic sentence, and why is your topic sentence a better topic sentence?
It was more so like the order of the sentences you would fix rather than like the content.
Yes, it was. Because if we look at the original here, they had kind of a different example. It starts with this quote, and then it goes into this sentence that's saying, like, it is widely believed that such practices were first popularized, like, for this profit lender, and that's kind of what they're talking about the rest of them, right? The second sentence was really doing the heavy lifting work of the topic sentence here, and we just needed to kind of switch it, right? So in those kind of do's and don'ts of topic sentences that I was talking about, in which I'm saying, make sure it's your first sentence, this is what I'm talking about, right? And so perhaps move the quote down and just move that one up. Do a little switcheroo, and you're good to go. All right. Let's come back to group 3. Did we get our topic sentence worked out for group 3? Yeah. Lovely. Okay. Ooh, I was on the wrong one. Okay. So your initial topic sentence said, in today's world, we see more diversity than ever. What's wrong with that topic sentence?
It was very vague.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly know what diversity they were talking about or really what
Yeah.
we talked about.
I don't know what topic you're talking about. I don't know who's it, what's it. I don't know cause. I don't know consequence. I don't know nothing, right? Yeah. So instead, the true nature of the paragraph that it was talking about diversity in modeling, right, in the modeling industry. So your revised topic sentence reads, today the modeling industry includes minority groups to create a more diverse community. However, these minorities feel as though they're being inaccurately represented as models because of the tokenism inclusion approach that is taken. Fabulous. Why is your topic sentence better than the one that was there prior?
You know, like, what they're going to be talking about. Like, it talks about the modeling, how they're falsely represented, how they just, like, don't feel necessarily included, even though, like, they quote-unquote are.
Yep, lovely. I can know that, I can guess that your topic is indeed modeling, so I got that start out. I can see the cause is this kind of tokenism inclusion, and then you have the kind of consequence of how it affects and the kind of a false diversity, right? It's not doing what it's supposed to do. Lovely. Okay. The reason I had you do this on a Google Doc was that you have access to this now, right? I'm not taking this away from you. So you can use this when you're writing your own topic sentences later for homework, for the rest of your paper that is due next week, right? And you can use this to write better topic sentences for your own things, right? I like to do this exercise because I think it's useful because it's something that you can do on your own papers once you've written it to kind of identify if do I have all these things. It's a good checklist, a good mental check for yourself, right? Okay, I'm going to start and do a reverse order this time to mix it up. Let's start with group 5 at the end. I'm going to ask for where is your analysis in that paragraph?
This information on the NCAA. It's after 1.
This one? Yep. Not before? Not before? I'm testing you. You don't think it's before this? No?
Because the rest is like straight from the source, or they're talking about like the ideas of it.
Are you sure? Perfect. Great, Casey. I was trying to cause a little doubt with you. Yes. So the ones before this, although we don't see quotation marks, they are indeed continuing to use their source. They just cite it twice because they're doing two different, they're kind of using information twice from that source. So if you look here, this part of this information demonstrates, and they're talking about why this information is important, right? This information demonstrates how the racial demographics can possibly have negative effects on the African American athletes in the NCAA. Perfect. And I would agree that this is the analysis and not the main point, right? Because the main point is this part here, right? I would agree with that one, 100%. Okay, let's go back to group 4. I'm working backwards here. So, group 4, you're talking about the paragraph about the misconceptions associated with physical attributes of African Americans. Where do we see the information from a source in that paragraph? Group 4? Ava? Yeah.
It's like the quotations of physically superior and intellectually inferior.
Uh-huh.
And then in between the actual like citation parts of the Office 473 or those parts, that's a mistake. So there was some undeserved.
So right here? I would agree, and then I'd also add on to that just a little bit. I would also add the historical uses of scientific racism. This one here, because that's also part of the paraphrase, right? The physical superior and intellectual inferior are just quoted because they're terms that are the authors, not the students, right? So that is all coded as information from a source. It's a little tricky because they're paraphrasing here. So it's not as easy to just see, oh, whatever in the quotation mark is clearly information from a source. And much like the prior example we were looking at, this one does it back to back, so the analysis comes after. But yes, I would totally agree. Why, let me ask you a follow-up question, Ava. Why isn't the Billy Hawkins describes and the new plantation coded as information from a source?
That's like introducing the
Yes, that's information that's giving us source information, right? It's telling us where it came from the author, and that's why that's there. It is not necessarily information from the source, it's information about the source. Great, lovely, love to see it.